Good morning, everybody. Ms. Dobeck here, just checking in for our daily video about keeping our mental health healthy. And today we are going to talk about something that some of you are probably already pretty familiar with, and those are brain breaks. We use those sometimes in our classrooms, and you may have heard me talk about those if I came in to your classroom and talked about some ways that we can keep ourselves, calm and ready to learn. So brain breaks are a great thing to use while we're in school. We can also use them at home. So I wanted to give you some ideas about how to use these at home. And then I really was hoping that some of you guys would have your own ideas for brain breaks, and you could share those in the comments underneath of this video when we post it on our student supports page. So with brain breaks, basically what a brain break is it's just resetting our brain. When we start feeling frustrated or annoyed, maybe a little angry, or we just can't concentrate anymore, maybe even we start feeling a little sleepy, those are great times to use brain breaks. It's basically resetting our brain. It's keeping our brain from getting to the point where we are so frustrated or so upset that now we're kind of functioning in a different brain state where we can't think quite as clearly, we're maybe not making the best decisions, because when we do start feeling some of those emotions, our brains tend to go into a little bit of a lower state where we're not functioning at our best selves as far as our brain goes. So again, brain breaks are kind of to reset our brain before we get to those kind of negative emotions. Some examples of when you could use these at home would be if you're working on your academic time, your school time, and you're trying to solve a problem that you're just not getting, and you're just getting more and more frustrated. That would be a great time to take a brain break. Kind of reset that brain and come back to it a little bit later. Or if we're reading and we just can't concentrate and we can't seem to pick up what we're reading anymore, that would also be a great time to take a brain break. Another way to use brain breaks is, we're kind of around the same people quite a bit right now, and as much as we may love those people, they may be starting to get on our nerves a little bit sometimes. That's okay. That's normal. We're human. That's what happens. But before we say something that we don't want to those people, or before we get into, maybe an argument or things like that with those people that we care about, that would be a great time to take a brain break. So there are so many different brain breaks that we can use. It kind of depends on the situation. Some of the brain breaks would be like if you're trying to solve a problem or things like that, we can do just a very simple couple-minute brain break and then get back to it. If we are getting upset with someone and need some space, we can go to our room and do a 20-minute brain break. So there's so many different things. A simple Google search will show you a ton of brain breaks. I'm going to give you a few examples now to use, but I'd love for you guys to share your own brain breaks and things that you might be using at home also. When we post this video, if you would comment underneath of it on our Facebook page, that would be great, and we could share some of those additional brain breaks. I will also be posting some underneath of this video in the comments as well, so you guys can try them. So a few of the brain breaks that we can do. So one simple one that you can do actually while you're still sitting down is to create a rainstorm. Okay, so we want to do something that's usually using a little bit of our mind, letting us think a little bit, but also some physical activity. Those are the best brain breaks. Okay, so to create a rainstorm, we're just going to start rubbing our hands together, then we're going to start snapping, then we're going to start hitting our legs, we're going to start stomping and hitting our legs, and then we're going to reverse that, so we're going to stop stomping, we're going to start snapping, and then we're going to finish by rubbing our hands together. And that you do for a couple minutes. I did it very quickly so you guys could see. Some of the other brain breaks that are good to do are more active ones. So one that we could do is to test our balance, okay? So we could say, I'm going to stand on one leg and I'm going to see how long I can do that. Or if you want even more of a challenge, you can hop on one leg and see how many times you can do that without losing your balance, okay? Those are good active ones. Another great one for active is just putting on one of our favorite songs really loud and just dancing all crazy and just letting loose and getting all of that kind of irritation and things out of our brain, okay? Another one I have here is if you have a ball or something at home, you can do a ton with this. There's a ton that you can find online. One that I like is you just throw it up, and every time you throw it up, you're going to start with the letter A, and you're going to go through and do a different word for every letter of the alphabet. Try to do a category, so we could say, like, let's do food. So, A, apple. B, banana. C, carrot. D, I can't think of one. But you guys get the idea. So those are what brain breaks are. They're great to use throughout our day. Again, it's kind of just hitting the reset button on our brain, keeping us in a healthier state where we can, have a little bit more control over our emotions, have more reasoning, more thinking clearer, things like that, okay? So again, we'd love to see what you guys are doing for your own brain breaks. So after we post this, go ahead and in the comments put any brain breaks that you guys might be trying at home. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow.